Nuclear Power, Good or Bad? By Taylor, Joanna, and Alana. What is nuclear power? Nuclear power is created from fission, splitting atoms larger than iron, or from fusion, joining atoms smaller than iron. In both reactions, a small amount of mass is lost as energy. The energy released by either of these reactions can be found using the equation E equals mc squared, where c is the speed of light, m is the mass lost, and E is energy. Nuclear power can be used in a variety of applications. In the 1940s, the Manhattan Project used the energy produced from nuclear reactions to create nuclear bombs. After World War II, this energy was also used in submarine engines for the Navy. These engines could run for over a year without refueling. As of 2010, there were 438 operating nuclear plants, and 61 plants were under construction. How does nuclear power work? Uranium is an element often used when creating nuclear power because it undergoes spontaneous fission at a very slow rate. This process emits radiation. Uranium is also a natural choice for the induced fission required by power plants. Uranium-235 is important to nuclear power because it decays naturally by alpha radiation and is one of the few elements that can undergo induced fission. Induced fission is when a free neutron is fired into a uranium-235 nucleus. The nucleus will absorb the neutron, become unstable, and split immediately. When the atom splits, 2 neutrons and 2 protons, which are bound together, is released. This is an alpha particle. In power plants, uranium bundles are submerged in water inside a pressure vessel. The water acts as a coolant. Without it, the uranium would overheat and melt. The uranium bundles heat the water, which creates the steam to drive the turbine, which spins the generator, which in turn produces power. Pros of nuclear power. Creating nuclear power does not produce smoke. Instead, the white plumes coming out of the plants are only steam. Because of this, nuclear power is considered carbon-free. It is not dependent on wind or the sun. It produces more electricity and clean energy than wind or solar energy, and also requires less land than either wind or solar power. Also, there is no direct correlation between cancer and a person's exposure to nuclear plants. Cons of nuclear power. Radioactive waste created by nuclear power is not biodegradable and is extremely dangerous. Creating nuclear power requires uranium, which must be mined. This is not a clean task to undertake. Uranium is not a renewable resource and can be dangerous to transport to and from plants. Once a nuclear plant is decommissioned, the land surrounding the plant cannot be used for crops. A lot of water is required for heating and cooling in a plant. Exposure to nuclear radiation can be deadly and also cause cancer. It also takes about 10 years to build a nuclear plant, but global warming is happening now. Also, plants are running out of storage room. On average, one plant generates 20 metric tons of used nuclear fuel per year. That is classified as high-level radioactive waste. This equals 2,000 metric tons a year with all the nuclear plants combined. It takes nuclear fuel tens of thousands of years to decay to a safe radioactive level. Chernobyl. The Chernobyl disaster occurred on April 26, 1986, and was the worst nuclear disaster to date. The explosion was equivalent to 10 atomic bombs going off at the same time. 50 tons of radioactive material were spewed from the plant. Initially, 31 people died from cancer and other illnesses. The reactor still contains enough radioactive material to destroy Europe. The only thing stopping this is the decaying sarcophagus surrounding the plant. Chernobyl was poorly designed and improperly operated. The absence of a secondary containment structure around the plant allowed radioactive material to escape. Our group has concluded that nuclear power is not a good alternative. The risks of nuclear power outweigh the benefits. There are too many scenarios where some things can go wrong and result in a danger to the lives of people and wildlife. The land surrounding a nuclear plant cannot be used to grow crops, and the waste produced from these plants takes thousands of years to decay to a safe level. Also, global warming is a prominent issue now. Nuclear plants can take up to 10 years to build, which defeats the purpose of finding a quick solution to current problems.